Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.
Welcome to RugbyAM. It's Christmas Day and we've got a real treat for you today. We're getting out with the champions across this show. We're here at Hull Royal Infirmary on the Children's Awards. We've got three of the Hull boys. You can just see there, Josh Bowden with the trophy, walking around, entertaining the kids with the early birds as well. Also, we're going over with the champions, Leeds Rhinos, catching up with those guys and seeing how they're preparing for the new season and for Christmas. And the league leaders, Castleford, we visit hospice in Pontefract and see all the great work the Tigers do in the community. And to end the show, we've got an exclusive, a real treat. The King, Wally Lewis, finishes off today's Christmas Day show. Hope you've had a great dinner and loads of presents. Let's go meet the Hull boys. So you must get a lot out of this, coming down and helping these kids.
Yeah, that's right. You know, that's what Christmas is all about. It's about the kids and that, and coming down here with the boys to, you know, visit them. You know, it's just to seeing the smile on their faces, you know, it just makes it worthwhile.
Albert, you're on stage tonight. So today you've obviously been seeing the kids, and tonight you're singing for Danny Houghton.
Yeah, it's tough. Not a singer, but you know, I'm going to go out there and have a crack and help Mint out. You know, it's all for a laugh, and you know, he'll be raking it in.
What are you singing tonight?
Going for Justin Bieber, Mistletoe.
You going to give us a little blast now?
No, I'll save it for later.
How's pre-season been with Rads? Is he military style pre-season?
Not really. It was pretty much, you know, scientific based really. You know, timing and then we got the skill levels. Got, you know, definitely got to pick up a lot of defense and wrestle. We've been really working on a lot of that, and you know, it's coming along together very nice. And you know, pre-season is just a step towards, you know, start of the season.
What's it like to get you're a big Hull FC fan?
Very, very big. Our whole family's massive fans, yeah.
Is there any red and whites in the family that let the side down?
One uncle, but he married into it, so...
You let him off then?
Yeah, let him off.
Three of the boys have come along with the trophy today. Do you reckon there's going to be more trophies this year for Hull FC?
Think so. Definitely rooting for it.
Who's your favourite player?
Oh, that's hard.
Got to pick
I love
one.
them all.
Got to pick one.
Oh, obviously, like, Albert Kelly when he came. Always been a big fan of it, really. I think I like Steve Michaels and Maher Fanoa before they moved back.
Yeah. How do you replace Maher Fanoa? Because obviously he's such a good player. They've got the big man in on the wing. He's going to be tough to stop. But do you think that Maher might come back?
Maybe. Hopefully. Obviously, I'm hoping so, but obviously I hope for the best in Australia.
Last year we got close to getting into the grand final, and you know, I heard a lot of the boys, because that's happened twice now. Yeah. You know, the last 2 years, and the focus is to, you know, win every game and just try and improve from last year, and to get to that grand final, we'll, you know, that'll achieve our goals.
And obviously you're missing your partner in crime, Maher, but you've got a new guy on the wing. Tell us a little bit about him.
Yeah, that's right. You know, he turned up today to training, so he got amongst it with the boys, and you know, similar builds. I've heard a few things that they play the same way on the field, so you know, we probably won't lose much, but you know, it'll be great to get out there and play some rugby with him.
Mate, you're a proud Hull lad, and this year the derby returns. Yeah. Has it been a big miss from a fan's point of view, Grace, the derby?
Definitely. It's been like massive withdrawal symptoms going right round Hull. I'm just so happy they're back.
I think it's a bit unfair that Hull have to play Hull at Magic Weekend. Do you think it should be out of a hat, or do you prefer it that there's a derby on?
I love derbies anytime, especially going to another stadium. It's big atmosphere, it's great, and it's nearly always a guarantee win.
Well, I want to ask you about that, because this year Hull obviously coming back up, and they've recruited well, and they've got Danny Maguire, who did a number on you last year. Yeah, he did. He's going to be a great addition for them.
Yeah, he's a class player, isn't he? Obviously, he directed Leeds round in that semi-final, and obviously practically played his best game against Cass in the final. So obviously we'll be targeting him now and then in the game. So let's see how it goes.
And Gazelis is going to be a big miss. How do you go about replacing like such an icon?
Yeah, it's big boots to fill. I think Joshua, he's taken a 13 jumper, and he's very quality in everything he does. Professionalism, very workhorse, related, and going to miss Gaz, and he's very top leader, good skipper.
Tools. Last question for you, Dogs. You got Mickey Payers come to club. You just killed him off there. Mickey Payers come to club. What can the old fans? He's coming back for a second term. He's a great bloke, isn't he, Mickey?
Yeah, that's right. He comes back for a second stint, and he left on a good note, and playing with him before he come back over. So he's great for us in the forward back. He toughens it up a bit, and it's great to see him back in the Super League.
Last year it was so close. We were at the semi-final with Leeds. It was a bitter blow, really. Do you think Hull have got it in him to go one better this year?
I think so. Either they'll go for the hat-trick or they'll definitely go for the grand final.
Which would you take now? If you can either definitely win the Challenge Cup or you can get to the grand final, what would you take?
Obviously, I want to go to Old Trafford because I've never been before, but to do the hat-trick would be, no one's ever done it, so I'd love to do that.
You looking forward to Christmas? You had a good day with the family?
Yeah, definitely. Main present, Hull home shirt and training shirt.
Outstanding. You like the new pink? It looks good.
Oh, I love it. I've got the pink training shirt, actually. I do really like it.
Pretty
yeah.
pink, Darren. There it is.
Yeah.
Are you a big fan of the new pink shirt?
I'm loving it, mate. As you can see. Straight in from training, I'm been getting some grief off Albie, but yeah, it's not too bad.
Mate, and you got number 13. You're stepping into Gazelis' shoes this year. Big shoes to fill.
Yeah, massive. Obviously, can't replace Gaz in any way, but hopefully all the boys, all the forwards will pick the game up, and you won't see that much of a difference.
And is the richest man in Hull going to be the captain this year, Danny Houghton?
God knows, there's some rich players in our team. He's one of them. No, but yeah, my money be on Danny. Yeah.
And going forward this year, if I'm going to give you the choice now, you can either do the hat-trick and retain the cup, or you can go to grand final. You might not win grand final, but you can be there. What would you take now?
Old Trafford, yeah, grand final.
You need it, don't you, for a club?
Yeah, definitely. I think we try all year to get there, and obviously we just cut ourselves short last minute against Leeds. So all the boys were really good about that. So hopefully this year we'll get it right.
Scott Taylor, number 8, play front row. My nickname's Tag.
Liam Watts, front row, aka Big Judders.
Jano, I'd say it's probably Stevie Michaels as well.
Stevie.
He's weird in a good way though, because he's just off his head mad, and anyone who's met him will know that Dr. Michaels is a bit of a weirdo.
Just wanders around, doesn't say much, then he'll just come out with a bit of Tourette's, they'll just go, "Gidders!" and just start flicking stuff.
In my travel group, it's Danny Houghton 100%. It's his testimonial, richest man in club, and he never brings his wallet out with him because he don't need it. Everyone buys him a coffee and that, so... In my travel group, Danny Houghton, but Chris Creed.
Well, I travel with Greeny, so me and Tom will be buying each other coffees and that. We try and get Greeny one and to buy us one back, and he's like, "Nah, I don't want to drink, lads. You get your own."
Judders.
I just do it on purpose, so radders off.
And then he always says it's the kids. Yeah, I had kids.
Go get a card. Oh, radders, I had kids. Come on, man, don't be like that. Oh, there's a few with it. We all have a decent nick, don't we?
Yeah, a few of the boys do, yeah.
Hey, once went Mad Monday a couple of years back, went to Blackpool, and we all went fancy dress, and Gaz were there, and seen Gaz at like 4 in the morning knocking techno bike, you know, we're like, that's the boy there, Gaz. And he's like, every time you mention it now, he just like goes bright red.
Yeah, when it's time, he'll stay out, won't he? But no, the few of the boys stay out to the death, but...
The Islanders love a drink. Tools is the man.
I'd say Shawley as well, because
he could drink for 2 days solid and not even know he's had a drink.
It'd be Tools or Shawley probably as well, yeah.
Yeah, Shawley's a little pest, though.
Yeah.
Definitely not me, so I'm out. No. For that reason, I'm out.
Skip would be up there.
Yeah, Skip's up there, yeah.
Skip's very long.
Sneed is in there as well.
Shawley has a dig for a midget. Doesn't he? He's all right. It's 100% not washy or fashion.
Yeah, fashion. just see call him free.
Wow, we've got length of time, mate, in the shower.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I might say that. Oh, yeah, I'm probably up there then.
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry. Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.
What I love about Christmas is the outstanding work in the community all the clubs do. We're down at the Prince of Wales Hospice in Pontefract. The Castleford boys are inside, seeing the patients, giving them a bit of Christmas cheer. And I brought Paul Wood, our brand new presenter, along for his first rodeo. Are you a little bit nervous, Woody?
Yeah, I am a little bit nervous, yeah.
First time out working at RugbyAM. Mick Morgan, I'm going to be talking to. You're going to be speaking to the Coach of the Year, Darryl Powell. You're someone you really admire.
Yeah, I like Darryl, you know, I've heard really good things about him, and especially when I signed for Featherstone, you know, a lot of the players there had been coached by Darryl, and they were saying how much of a great bloke he is, great coach. So, yeah, he's someone I'm looking forward to interviewing for my first one.
Mate, it's great to have you on board. Let's go inside and meet the guys. Come on, let's go. On and off the pitch, you've had such a fantastic career. Do you look back on it now with just fond memories?
Loved every minute. I just think I'm that lucky to be involved in rugby league, from watching Featherstone as a kid in mid-50s to still being involved at Cass in 2017. Dream come true.
It's been a long career and there's so many stories and anecdotes over that time. It's time for your first book. The book deal's come. I Can't Speak is going to be the title.
I can't speak.
I can't speak. It must be really exciting for you because it's legacy as well for your family.
Well, it's actually it's been great doing it, to be honest. And Steve Till, who's written it, he's loved every minute, and we've had a good time. And it's when you're reminiscing, going back through what you've done and other times, and just different things during career, and we're looking forward to it coming out, and it's hopefully they'll be launched at the actual Leeds game when we play Leeds on 21st. I think we should have some copies to sell.
Can you see 2018 being Cassie's year? It's so close.
Yeah, well,
it must have killed it. I know you don't on social media. I saw a picture go out. Cassie's most successful year ever, and had a picture of Rob and Danny holding the trophy up. Yeah. And that's got to great. 8 in a row, and Brad Singleton's tweeting 1 in a row. Is there a real rivalry coming between Leeds and Cass now?
It's good. I think it's great. Well, it's always been, hasn't it? And Cass, Featherstone, Wakefield, Leeds. It's always been since day one, and that's what it's all about. And good competition, and fair play to Leeds. They turned up on there. Cass didn't play the best game, and they won it. So that's how it goes. But that's what we know. We've got to come up with. It's all right finishing 10 points clear at rest. You've got to put that in and show that you've improved enough to win grand final. That's what it's all about. I mean, Challenge Cup, I still love Challenge Cup. I'd love us to win that. But the grand final seems to be the one that everybody wants to win. And that, to prove you've really arrived on the scene, that's the one you've got to win. And I know Powley, he wants to win that. He wants to win everything.
I'm here with the stellar coach of Castleford Tigers, Darryl Powell. And we're here to do some Tiger tweets asked from the fans. But first of all, Darryl, if you could tell us why we're here and where we are.
Yeah, we're at the Prince of Wales Hospice in Pontefract. It's our chosen charity of the year. We have a partnership, and we come here around Christmas time to provide some support and recognition of the unbelievable work that these guys all do.
So we'll lead into the Tiger tweets. These are questions from the fans, so they could go from one extreme to another. Some sensible, some not so sensible. So first question. Would you consider taking the England job if it becomes available part-time? And that's from Wayne Bennett.
Well, Wayne, I think you've done an awesome job getting England to the final and just falling short. Yeah, a lot of people have asked me this question, and I think if you're coaching in Super League and you want to be coaching at the very top level, then obviously coaching your country is the next step. Yeah, if Wayne decides not to go on with it, which I reckon he will, to be honest. But if he doesn't, then I think I'd be interested. I think the person that can crack the Aussies, you're going to be remembered forever. Whoever it is, it's going to be awesome. And I do think we're getting closer and closer. And hopefully Super League is going to continue to thrive and improve, and it's going to be a really tight competition, and that gives the international team best possible chance of getting over the top of the Aussies, which we were pretty close in doing in this last World Cup.
So Martin Ireland, he's asking, what do you find hardest about being a Super League coach?
Oh, I didn't like losing the grand final too much. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of losing. I think it's just the consistent nature of it. It's you never really put the ball away. Trying my best to get a bit of time off at the moment to just to make sure you've got balance. I think it's trying to get some balance in your life, because the game, everywhere I go. I mean, I live just outside Pontefract, which is not too far away from Castleford. So everywhere you go, people are talking to you about the game, and that's part of the job. It's not that I wouldn't want it any other way. But the hard thing is just having time away from rugby league. I think that's the biggest thing. The Christmas gives you a bit of that, although then the Dota game on Boxing Day, so maybe not. You can't quite get away from it. But the games, it's embedded in my family and my life really. So I do enjoy it.
So Sean Farrell asks, what would you consider to be a successful season for Cass next season?
Well, I'd like to see us do better in the Challenge Cup. We lost to Hull last year and didn't really perform in that game, and that was a big disappointment for us, to be honest. I think we not performing in big games is something that I think we need to get a grip of. So I'd like to see us do better in the Challenge Cup. Challenge Cup final appearance. Having said that, we get to finals now. We've got to be winning. We've lost a couple in the last 4 years. And top four, we want to win the comp. We've been league leaders this year. We just fell short in the grand final, so we need to be winning something. This not need to be. We want to be winning something this year. It's important that we take that next step now. And I think the key for us is that some of our players, a lot of our players, have got to. They're outstanding rugby league players. They've got to become big game players, and sometimes that's a little bit of a different thing. You'll know that it's. Winning games when everything's on the line, it takes a little bit more of a tough mentality, and I'm hopeful that we can really take that next step this year.
And just before we finish up, Darryl, just one last question. It's from S. Wood from Wigan. Is there room in your coaching staff for a Paul Wood?
Well, it's a very specific question, isn't it? I don't know who that question could be from, to be honest, but I'm presuming that she lives in close proximity to yourself.
I was thinking 3 halfbacks on your coaching staff needing a forward coach, you know what I mean? So got to get it in there. Yeah.
It's a good try. I'll have a word with Steve Gill, see if we've got any budget for a big man.
Cheers, Darryl.
Cheers,
wish
mate.
you all the
all
best, mate. Cheers.
Have a good Christmas, mate.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Welcome to Christmas in Cass with Wagger Claus. Let's go see what Cass has to offer at Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Liam, how's sales been going? What's the biggest seller for Christmas so far?
They've been going absolutely mad. I'd probably say best Christmas seller has been the hoodies.
The hoodies?
All the brand new hoodies and all the brand new shirts.
Oh, when I was young and in my prime, I used to get it all the time, but now I'm old and getting grey, I only get it once a day. So get it while you're young, get it while you're young, get it you don't go cold.
First game, Boxing Day, I'm going to be down there. Are you going?
I'll be
against
going.
Featherstone?
I'll be going, yeah.
I'll buy you a beer.
Oh, I bet you do.
I'll buy you a beer. I'm going down. I bet I do. So, little boy, what can Wagger Claws get for you for Christmas this year?
A big kiss.
Phil, talk to me about Christmas. Busy time of year for you.
Oh, we never stop at Christmas. We've got to look after these people down, Cass. And they like the meat, let me tell you.
They love the mate.
Mate?
Mate.
You're a mate, that's me.
I thought that was mate.
What for?
Just for RugbyAM Leeds TV.
For
Leeds TV. Just
Leeds?
about Casford Tigers. Just for Leeds TV, it's on.
Is it for Leeds now?
No, it's not for Leeds. 5 4 chops!
I just thought I could use my skill, come out here, sing a few carols, sing a few songs and get all this lot moving for Christmas. And let's raise some money for a good cause.
You better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Wagger Claus is coming to town. All for £20, all for £20. Christmas special from Wagger Claus and Phil, Bennett's Butchers. Have a Merry Christmas.
Nice to see you again.
Cheers, Ledge.
Take care.
I want to wish yourself, your family, a massive happy Christmas, and I'll see you Boxing Day for that pint. Awesome. I won't, I'll be there.
Now bring us some figgy pudding. Now bring us some figgy pudding. Now bring us some figgy pudding. And bring some out here. Good tidings we bring to you and your...
Can't beat Cas Vegas on Christmas. This is what happens. People coming together.
New Year. Happy Christmas to all those rugby fans out there.
Yes! Round of applause, everyone!
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry. Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.
It's Christmas Day and there's a massive match tomorrow, Boxing Day, normally at Leeds, but this year the Weatherby Whaler Festive Challenge is over at the Rapid Solicitors Stadium, home of you, Kermore. You're welcoming Leeds on Boxing Day, and you always do so well every year.
Yeah, it's a nice change for it to be at our place. You know, normally getting up Boxing Day after a nice Christmas day, it's not nice travelling over anywhere. So I'll just be able to roll downhill this morning, tomorrow morning. 5 minutes to ground, and yeah, as you said, we tend to do pretty well in the Boxing Day games. It's always a really keenly contested one, and you know, I'm sure that both teams will be looking forward to a hit out, and the fans probably a little bit more than the players.
Ashton, normally it's a tough day at the office on a Boxing Day. You guys had a great season. What Jonesy always says is, you're always good as your last win. Obviously, the champions. Yeah. You missed out on playing the grand final, which I know killed you inside, but you've got the one shirt. Jack Walker's on your heels, but you're looking forward to a great game tomorrow.
Yeah, you know, I'm really looking forward to the game tomorrow. It's going to be another one of them where you have to get up, but this time we've got to go over to your place, and it's going to be a bit of a weird Boxing Day for me because I've never had to do that. I've always rolled out of bed and gone to Wednesday and had a game there. But you know, Wakefield seem to always lay down a real good marker in that game, and it's on us there. It's on us this year to go there and lay down a marker for ourselves throughout the year. It's about setting the year right. You know, the intent from the off, and we've got to give it our all really. And it's going to be a great marker to see where we're actually at.
I've got to ask you, how does playing Boxing Day affect your Christmas? Because I know I'll be drinking beer at 9 o'clock and just rolling out of bed and having a chiller and having about dinners, seconds, thirds, bit of pudding and back. I'm actually going out for dinner this year for the first time. But how does it affect you guys as professionals?
So, I'm probably different to most, but for Christmas for me, it's about, family getting together. So for me, it don't really change much. All my family come round and we chill together. I don't really have a big appetite anyway, but I can eat, and if I was given a licence to, I would. But Boxing Day is really my Christmas because I get to play rugby and then I get to chill with my family and maybe have a beer, I'm not too sure.
Christmas for Wakefield boys. Now, you've got some big boys in, you've got a new one from Leeds. and I think Leeds are mad to let him go personally. Jordan Baldwinson, how's he been getting on in pre-season?
Baldy bouncer.
Yeah, he's going really well, Baldy. He trains really hard, and we've got a lot of front rowers, so it's been tough for him. And you know, front rowers, when they come in, they like to set a marker. Anthony England, he normally puts a cross on everyone's head and tries to give them one in training. But he's had it hard this year. Baldy's come in, he's done really well. We've got Paulie who's come in, who's similar to Dave Fafita, but a bit younger and a bit bigger. He's a real beast. So yeah, hopefully we'll get a few quick play the balls this year, and it's good just watching from side, watching them bash each other about a bit.
We yourself and Matty Ashurst in the back row. I think Tyler Randall's signing at season last year, so he got injured. You must be really confident going into this season.
Yeah, we are. It's a case we're in a better position than we've ever been in, really. I think we managed to tie everyone down who were already contracted, which is something that we've not been able to do for a long time. Not many players left at all last year, and then we've added some real good experience in the likes of Justin Horrow. He's come in. Tyler will be like a new signing because he obviously came in, did really well, and then got injured. And then there's a couple more younger lads like Baldy and Paulie as well who really add to the depth of the squad. I think for the first time we've got a lot of competition in every position now.
Right, we're talking a little bit about players at Christmas. So we're in Wetherby Whaley. We're going to have a bit of a challenge in a bit. Everyone likes a challenge, but we're going to share it because Fat Boy is not allowed to eat it. Clogger says you're not allowed to eat it.
Yeah, he's keen on it at the moment. He's Clogger. Every Monday morning we're weighing in and getting our fat test done. And I'm not over or anything, but I'm getting old now and the metabolism slows down a bit, Simo. So
I know that feeling, mate. So we're going to share the challenge today. But who's the player you most worry about? I'm going to ask you both. At Christmas for overeating at Wakefield and Leeds?
I'll go with Paulie. I've never seen anyone eat as much in my life. Honestly, he lives opposite this pub that does 2-for-1s in Wakefield, and I think he had 4 meals last week. He ordered it, went in on his own, and the lady was like, "Oh, have you got company coming in?" And he was like, "No, it's just for me." He ate it all anyway, and yeah, he can smash a lot of food in.
I've got to go with Mikolaj Oledsky, just for the sheer size of him. The ratio of food he can eat is ridiculous, and I know for a fact he'll go hard.
Right then, so we've had the foodies. Who do you reckon would buy the worst present? Who's the real tight man who's just going to get the worst present? If you get him out of the hat, who'll be the worst present buyer for you?
Oh, we've got some incredibly tight players. You know it's bad when a player comes over from Australia and his reputation for being tight precedes him. And we've had a few of them. Tyler Randall, he's never bought anyone a coffee or anything. In fact, it's that bad at Wakefield. We were even going to run like a secret Santa for £5, just buy someone anything random, and no one's even up for it for a £5. So anyone, to be fair, it's just the tightest club ever.
It's got to be Carl Ablett. He is the tightest man I've ever met. I mean, he says to me, I'm saving my money, I'm being smart, but come on, bro, just one coffee. One coffee, that's all I want.
Just one coffee. One coffee, I bought. Lastly, boys, Christmas is on everyone's lips, and we'll all be singing carols. But if one player, if you were going to record a Christmas song, and all the boys were going to do it together, you know, like we used to do for the cup finals, who would be the lead singer? Can anyone hold a note at Wakefield and Leeds?
Yeah, I'd go with. It'd have to be Keegan Hurst. We do a little bit of initiation at Wakefield it's normally on our Christmas drink, and Keegan's probably the best one I've ever seen. He went full, 100% in with it. He did the full show and everything. So yeah, I'd go with Keegs.
Unfortunately, they've took our best singer, and Jordan Baldwinson. So yeah, he can sing. So we'd have to go with Joel Moon.
Mooney,
he's got a real nice husky voice, and I think that'll come across. And it's a good audience, people like that.
I like how much food you get to eat over the Christmas dinner. My grandma absolutely piles the plate up, so I enjoy seeing it off. Garbs, and they'd probably just say Santa because he's pretty big. Elf. Just because I love Will Ferrell, and I think he's class in whatever he does, so I think he killed Elf when he was in that as well. What at Leeds? Garbs. All day, he's a right pudding. Oh, what were it called again? I forgot. That one where it shouts it's Christmas at the start, but I forgot the name and I forgot the song, so I couldn't tell you.
Wish it could be Christmas.
Slade, Wish It Could Be Christmas. Out of the lads? Who is? I'd probably say Brett Ferris because he's the most in love at the moment, and I should imagine his missus will give him a fair few over Christmas. I'd probably say, I reckon Ashton Golden would give the best gift because he seems to put, I don't know, he seems to know everyone pretty well, and he seems like one of the lads who would put a lot of thought into it. And the worst one, I'd give the worst gift out, I'd probably say Albo because he's like Scrooge. I don't think you ever see him smile much, so I don't think he'd get you out very good. Adam Cuthbertson, without a doubt. What he'd get him, he'd probably paint him a picture like he's into painting at the moment, innit? So I should imagine he'd probably do a self-portrait of Mac. Cameron Smith, because he can eat for England, he's a big lad, and I reckon he'd eat the most. To have another good year and hopefully win all 3 trophies. Yeah, I just hope everyone has a very good Christmas and a good New Year as well.
The snow has fallen, the fish and chips have arrived. I reckon I could do this, Ash. This is the challenge. You get a t-shirt if you win. Do you reckon you could do this? Jimmy reckons it's bigger than we think.
No, I think the chips and bread will get you, but I don't know. I give it a good go.
Kermo, could you do this, you reckon, if you were allowed?
I'd have a good bash. I do like a whale from here, so yeah, I'd have a good crack with it. Like Ash says, I think the bread, maybe onion rings would get you, just them little extras you don't really think about.
Have a great Christmas, Clogger. We're sharing this, don't worry about it. Everyone enjoy your dinners, your puddings, and we'll see you tomorrow for a great game of Rugby League.
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry. Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.
This could be the zenith of my RugbyAM career because I'm here backstage in Keighley before one of the MJK events with the king, Wally Lewis, arguably the greatest rugby league player of all time. Wally, it's a pleasure to have you here on RugbyAM. How have you enjoyed your first week in England?
Always good. Love coming back to England. It's been a plan of mine to do it for the last 4 or 5 years, to come over here and to be able to get around a lot of the footy clubs and do some guest speaking and catch up with some old mates that I had when I was playing for Wakefield Trinity in 1983-84.
Whilst I was over in Australia at the World Cup, I read and watched all about this gentleman right here, Wally Lewis, and your books are outstanding. But if I was to do a word count of the most popular words that come out of your mouth in a book or in a documentary, I reckon in the top 10 would definitely be Queensland. Queensland is synonymous with your history, your legacy, your heritage, and you talk about it an awful lot. It's obviously something you're extremely passionate about. Now, I'm really passionate as well because I'm a Yorkshireman, right? And we've got this thing over here, Yorkshire, Lancashire. I guess it would be the UK version of the Origin. And I'm so passionate because I see what a great brand the State of Origin is in Australia. Can't understand why we've not got Yorkshire, Lancashire over here. Yorkshire, Lancashire isn't just a game either. It started in the 1400s when they were fighting for the throne of England. House York and House Lancaster. And for me, if you want to build a narrative and emotion about identity, we've got all the ingredients. And I just wanted to ask you, Wally, how much of an influence did New South Wales and Queensland and these rivalries, these battles on the pitch influence the NRL and where it is today?
It's been to me, it was the rescue package for them. We had the Queensland versus New South Wales games going for 75 years. New South Wales dominated. There were small periods where Queenslanders had a good group of players together, and they won for a couple of years in a row. But it had taken a little bit of a hard knock for 25, 26 years, I think it was, where Queensland didn't win a series. We get flogged every year, and there seemed to be more interest in how much Queensland were going to get thrashed by, rather than were we a chance. All of the good players were picked up by the Sydney clubs. They'd go down there. Of course, they had the poker machines. The extra money coming into those Sydney clubs allowed them to be able to make a much richer offer to the players. In Queensland, we couldn't afford it, so couldn't keep them. I had an opportunity to probably go and play for a Sydney club, but quite thankfully, State of Origin came about in 1980, and I can still remember the boss of the Queensland Rugby League, Senator Ron McAuliffe. He come up with a big line by saying, if you give us our players back, we will beat you in the first State of Origin game, and Rugby League, the interstate series, will be rescued. It came about, we felt enormously under pressure. That game came around, and I was 20 years of age. Mel Meninga turned 20 the day of the game, Chris Close, and of course we had blokes like Beatson, Rod Morris, Kerry Bosted, Rod Reddy, famous Kangaroo players on our side that went out and probably played the games of their lives. And while we felt very good about winning the game, we knew that we'd also lived up to the hopes of the fans that had supported us so wonderfully for so long, and finally giving them something to celebrate.
We've got some questions from the RugbyAM fans who have kindly tweeted in and messaged in. We've got one from Joe Ball. Who is the toughest player you ever played with or against?
Toughest player I've played with, there's been a number of those. I'd put it down to Beatson as being one of the toughest. If it has to go to one player though, on just how much pain and pressure he can take on the field, Trevor Gilmeister. Very small bloke. In the old terms, he's about 5'9", 5'9" and a half. Weighs a little bit less than 13 stone. Went out there and he was the best hitter that I ever saw, the best tackler that used to break blokes in half. And I often used to say it about Gilly, whenever I watched him play, you kind of got the impression that he was out there to make an opponent's career as short as possible.
Thankfully I didn't play in their day. Wow. What did you learn from your time at Wakefield in England?
The coach of the Wakefield team was Derek Rocky Turner, one of Great Britain's greatest and toughest ever players. So I got the chance to be able to meet him and talk about what was expected. The players, though, I don't think they really wanted me there, and I couldn't blame them. The international ban had been in place for a number of years, and when I got the chance to go there, I was basically told to give them a figure. I said £1,000 a match, which nobody was getting £1,000 a match in those days. That'd probably equate these days to, I don't know, $50,000 or £50,000 a game. Wow. It was ridiculous. And when I arrived there, I don't think I was all that welcome. A lot of the players were hoping that I'd get hit by a bus or something, but I got the opportunity to play with some wonderful footy players. Nigel Stevenson was our captain. The best part of the whole campaign, though, while playing for Wakefield, was I got the chance to meet the English Rugby League public, and they impressed me over the moon. I used to watch them travel from one side of the country to the other. They can have the most appalling conditions, the snow, or the rain that was around, but they'd still follow you.
There's some great questions here. I know Gary Schofield calls himself the legend all the time, but and Alec Murphy, I can think of a few candidates, but who's the best rugby league player you've seen come out of England? And that's from David Barton.
I'd probably have a couple of guys that had to. Ellery would go in there. He was as strong a ball carrier as I ever saw in football. He was fantastic. Did a marvellous job. I used to say to the guys, look, mightn't be what is an outstanding promotion for the game, but let's get rid of him, whether it's legal, illegal, or a bus running him over before the game. I don't really care. Just make sure we got rid of him with a couple of high shots. would have loved to have played alongside him. Gary Schofield, I thought, was one of the most talented runners, elusive runners with the football. Did an extraordinary job. And Kevin Ward was a guy that I used to have a look at. I used to think, if you're going to go out there and hurt this bloke, we're going to need to take a baseball bat onto the field with us, wrap it round your head, and if it splits his skin, then we're a chance of knowing that he's hurt. He just never gave up any indication that he was under pain. And one bloke that I used to feel for a little bit was Lee Crooks. He came into the Great Britain side in 1982. I think he was 19 years of age, and he was basically thrown to the wolves. And Australia had arguably their finest side ever. Lee got thrown to the wolves for that, and he played a very aggressive game. He let us know how unwelcome we were, and I thought that he was an extremely good player that had a huge future.
I watched a game that you played in, and the teams obviously couldn't deal with you, so their answer was to try and knock your head off. And the one particular New Zealand game, every time you got the ball, they seemed to just get a bit of a whack. And the game's changed now. It's not become sanitised, but it is not as gladiatorial, and that's a different product to sell. Now, I respect that we need player welfare, and I think it is good that there's some things that we've changed, but I wanted to ask your opinion. Is the game in a better place now than what it was in your day?
I'm glad you brought it up, actually. I mean, I'm an old-timer, back playing in the days when we thought it was tough. 20 or 30 years before that, you used to be lucky if you came off the field with your head still in the same place. When I was asked to describe my feelings a couple of years ago, I said, look, I can understand they're trying to make the game as marketable as possible, look as clean as it possibly could be, but their search, and my term was that they were searching for a level of perfection that just didn't exist. And a lot of the times, some of the decisions were being made by people that have never played rugby league in their life. They've made the important decisions, and they think that they're doing it. It's the right thing. We'll be able to promote the game in the best way possible. But if you ask the fans what they want to watch, and if you ask the players what they want to take part in, 99% of them will say rugby league as it was in the old days, the toughest gladiatorial example of sport that you could ever see.
Yeah, and we all know what we're getting ourselves into. We all want to play that game, and I love it. And my last question, Wally, you've mentioned the word perfection a few times while I've been sat here with this for this last 20 minutes. And I'm always interested in why people become the people they are and who they are. And listening to some of your story, your dad in particular was always asking the question, well, what can you improve if you scored a load of tries? Did you miss any tackles? If you had a great defensive game, how was your offensive game? What was the number one core ingredient that made Wally Lewis the person that he is today?
Sitting down at the end of the game, I'd either be an extremely happy man or disappointed. My dad often used to say to me, if you're going to sit there and you're going to pat yourself on the back and talk about all the good things that you did throughout the course of the game, you're not going to be hungry for the next game that comes along. Try and be there. Try and give yourself something that you want to strive to achieve. And if you sit down at the end of that day and feel completely happy knowing that you've pleased yourself, you've got to know that you've also got to please everybody else that's sitting there watching it in the grandstands. If you can do that, I think you're going to retire a happy man. I just feel very privileged to have played the game of rugby league, made plenty of great mates that I've played against and alongside, but in particular, pleased the people that have been the real support for rugby league, and that's been the fans that put bums on seats every time they put the money in the gate.
I don't think you can beat that. I've run out of time with the King. I wish I had another hour, but thank you very much, sir, for your time.
My pleasure.
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.